Good morning, traders. Welcome to this week's Elliott Wave Forex and Cryptocurrency Market Analysis webinar. I hope you all had a wonderful week. I know most of you have been wondering why we did not have the webinar yesterday. We had some unforeseen circumstances that prevented us from having the webinar yesterday. So we're conducting the webinar now at 8 a.m. GMT. The time now is 8 a.m. GMT on a Monday morning. Right, so we've already had some moves in the market for this week, but that's all good. We'll be looking and forecasting what we expect of the market in the next coming sessions. Before we get started, if you'd like to contact us, you can do so via the contact details that are under all our videos on YouTube. So if you go to the description under on each video, you'll find the contact details as well as our social media platforms. We post a lot of charts before and after the moves play out. So you'll find us there on the Telegram channel. This is where I posted the live webinar links, but you don't necessarily need this if you are on the website, because the live webinar link for this is on the website. If you go to elliottwaveprinciple.com, you'll find the live webinar links. So we've got a Twitter and Facebook social pages there that you can follow and get some of and see some of our charts. Also, you will also find the timestamp. So this helps you for those that are only interested in specific pairs. You don't have to go through the whole webinar. You can just go and click onto the specific pairs that you're interested in. Right, so that will be uploaded shortly or a few hours after the video has been uploaded and processed. You can access those timestamps there. So with the timestamps, even during the week, if you want to refer to what our analysis was, just to refer, you can always just go and click at that timestamp. Right, so let's get started with this week's analysis. We're going to start with the US dollar pairs, Euro US dollar. So yes, last week I gave you a sneak preview into what we do during our live trading room. Okay, so I was trying to show you, let's just start here, let me just get the annotation tool. So I was showing how we forecasted this reversal here on Euro US dollar. Okay, and then we were looking for this to make a move to the downside, right? So that has now happened. We forecasted this. If you checked last week's video, this was before the move, before we even got to that level, we focused that we're going to get a reversal. Now, additionally to that, the market does not move in a straight line. As this is coming down here, we know there's going to be pullbacks. So where did we expect this pullback? So this pullback that you see here, this is on the daily, in the lower degree, you'll see it clearly. So let's go to the 4 hours so you can see that there was a clear pullback there. On the daily, you only see a candle. So I want to let you in on another sneak preview. Right, so you are in the trade here. On Euro US dollar, you sold, it is going down well. And you have this pullback that looks like it's a reversal. Some could have even looked at this as a flat correction. Some could have even looked at this as a flat and thinking that this is going to go all the way to the upside. But there's a structure that we follow, and I'd like to refer you to one of my videos that I did a couple of years back. It is called How to Trade. If you just search for How to Trade Elliott Wave WXY or WXYXZ like a pro, it details how we trade these types of pullbacks. So you can go and watch that. So this was another clear example of what that video refers you to. You can check that out. So let me just let you in on another sneak preview so you can see that we forecasted that we're going to have this pulling back exactly here, and that it was going to rally there exactly as it has done in the last week. So let's have a look there. It's only going to take a minute, so let's have a look at that video. Right, so this was during our live trading room on the 2nd of March. This would have been a Tuesday last week. Yes, it was a Tuesday last week. So let's play that so you can see. I will mute the volume and I'll just narrate over it like we did last week. Okay, so that was last week, Tuesday. We already had the reversal here that we focused it, and here last week we were focusing that at around 1991, 1.1991, we're going to have a pullback and Euro is going to rally down to this area. Okay, so the rest of the focus there, we are expecting this one. So let me just pause this. So what you're seeing there with the yellow is what we're focusing that we need a pullback. Okay, the market does not move in a straight line, but where does the pullback happens? And how would you be confident to hold a trade when you're getting such a sharp pullback? That's because you've got the structure, and this is the structure that we discussed last week as well. Not just last week, when we were still here, we said we are expecting this is going to make a three-wave structure, and we're going to get another three-wave structure to the downside. Now, whether this is going to reverse here does not matter. What we have is all the information that tells us from here we need to rally to this area. If we get to this area and this is still going to make another double and the correction is going to keep continuing as follows, then so be it. Then we'll still be able to trade it to the downside. As long as the indicator tells us that this is not the reversal, we're going to continue to the downside, we're going to keep selling it. But when we get to the specific area, the indicator will tell you whether the structure that will need to happen there. So this is Euro on the 4-hour, and all those moves have now played out. All those moves have now played out. Let's just have a look at those. So we had this, we had this, we had this. Those who remember, and those that have been following us for a while, will remember that we even had a structure like this at some point. We were looking for this to come down here and go from here. But what we're seeing here is a 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. This is what we're looking for. We're looking for a reversal around the 1830s, 1830s on Euro. If it does not come, then that's fine. But we are trading this. We've got this. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 moves. These were forecasted way before they happened. So it will do you really good if you can go and check out that video, how to trade Elliott Wave WXY or WXYXZ like a pro. You'll see how we do this. Now we'll be looking for this. I'm not worried about this now. I'm just looking to get to around the 1830s on Euro. All right, so this is the DXY. That's the expectation on the Euro. You're looking for it to rally down into that blue box. The DXY, same thing. So the DXY, this is actually when we were updating. This is now the 3rd of March, the day after. So if you are in the group, you get these details. So we update this on a daily basis. We got to that level, we had the pullback, but we're still expecting this to rally. And that is the DXY. Let's just play that. You can see I've shown this structure during these weekly outlooks as well. So even during the live trading room, we're just going into the detail of where we expect the reversals to happen. We've got our reversals, the pullbacks, and this is how the move has played out. All right, so let's go through the rest of the market. So this is the DXY. Where do you expect the DXY to reverse? For now, we're still expecting this to, we are right at the blue box. This is where the critical area is now. So we're going to be checking whether this confirms a reversal or not. And this is where our indicator comes in pretty handy. Right now, we've got a WXY structure. We can actually reverse from this area, but we don't have confirmation of reversal. As it looks now, it looks like we're still going to have a bit of a push to the upside on the DXY. And that makes sense because the Euro is not done yet. The Euro move is not done. We're still expecting the Euro move to continue a bit lower around these levels. Okay, we're still expecting the Euro to rally down to around these levels. So that's why we are saying that this move is not done. It's a WXY structure. We've got ABC structure, or WXY structure. We've got A, B, and C. We've got A, B, and C. That is why we're still expecting this 5-wave structure on the red C to continue to the downside. Then we can say we have got a full corrective structure, and then we're going to be looking for continuation to the upside. Now, why are we looking for upside here? Let me just show you here on the daily. Let's just show the daily structure here. So in the daily, so the daily structure is as follows. Now the question with this is, have we ended the move here? Somebody made a comment, and it's a valid comment. Why are we still expecting this to continue to the upside if we've got 5 waves? So we're looking at this structure. We're looking at this. The structure is incomplete. Okay, the structure that we're looking at is incomplete, but that does not stop this from correcting, and this will not change the structure if we get a deeper correction from current levels. Say we've got it something like this, we get something like this, so we get something like this, we can still get a structure like this on the euro. So we can still get a corrective structure here like this, and this will still be building up the bigger corrective structure. It just simply means that what we're looking for is not a simple three-wave structure like that, but it's a complex one that could go sideways still. Okay, so there's all those possibilities, but those don't matter like knowing exactly where the market is going to reverse. So for example, here we're going to be expecting a reaction at around 1830, and for a pullback at least. Let's see what we're going to get when we get to that level. That is euro US dollar. Let's go through the rest. So now this is pound US dollar on the daily. We're expecting a pullback. Now this one can actually reverse from current levels. It can be the end of the move. The structure that we're looking at, it can actually make a running flat here. We can get a running flat as follows. This one has broken the low here. We can look for this one to have been a running flat. So we can reverse from current levels. So we've got a strong move to the downside. That move is coming in 3 waves, however. So if it's coming down in 3 waves, so there's likely chance that this still makes one more up to come and retest this level before we get the reversal that we're looking at. Now let's go into the detail or into the lower time frame on that and just have a look at that properly. So those are the 3 waves on pound US dollar. It has come down in 3 waves. Can't remember if it was here or during the live trading room when we had this pullback, and we said as much as we've got a pulsing move here, do not go and sell this, because the indicator can tell you that you're ready to sell. What the indicator doesn't tell you is how far the move is going to go. Okay, so it can tell you that here is a sell, like we did here. Here was a sell. But you need to have both structure in the indicator. Yes, you do sell, but you get a short move, and then you're taken out even before your target is reached. What we discussed last time is that this is supposed to be a 5-wave move. I mentioned this, that you need to be careful even if you do get a sell set up here, because this can be a pullback. Okay, when we were here, it looked like we're going to get another 3 waves to the upside, but the indicator was just showing us that we are going to come to the downside like this. And the structure that we're getting is actually very clear. 5 waves down, 3 wave pullback, and we're getting another 5 waves to the downside. So this is showing us another continuation to the downside to continue with this move. So we're still looking for downside. We're not looking for a reversal yet. So are we going to get down here and then make a move to the upside? So we'll see when we get to this level. That is euro US dollar. US dollar chief is also at a critical level, but we're still seeing continuation to the upside. It's showing us a 3-wave structure similar to what we have on the DXY. But this one may have changed the structure here. So we are looking at this. We're looking at this one to be making a 3-wave structure up to this level. It is exactly there at the blue box area, but it does not look like we're going to get a reversal. Likely thing to happen here with the US dollar chief. And as the chief, we've seen how the chief has been weak over the last couple of days or weeks. This could be a start of the 5-wave move internally to the upside. So the pullback that you may get here not necessarily mean that that is the reversal. So US dollar chief may still push to the upside, with this being the 1, 2, 3 in the 3, 4, 5 in the higher degree, and the yellow being the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in the lower degree. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Is this 3 intact, or is we still going to push a little bit higher? That we need to see as the market moves. Right, US dollar CAD. Let's go back to, we're actually on the 4-hour. We're actually on the 4-hour. Let's have a look. Now, US dollar CAD, we are not selling US dollar CAD, but we can see the dollar strength currently. We've got a move to the upside here. It looks like we're getting another 3-wave structure to the upside here on US dollar CAD. But essentially, we are still on this sideways move here where we can get something like this. So we are not buying US dollar CAD yet, so we may get a structure like this. When this corrective structure is done here on US dollar CAD, we're expecting continuation to the downside. I've shown over the last couple of webinars a couple of times why we expect US dollar CAD to come down. Every time you get a pullback to the upside or push to the upside on US dollar CAD, it's an opportunity to sell it. It's an opportunity to sell it. So we're looking for downside on US dollar CAD when this move is done. Right, that's US dollar CAD, AUD US dollar. So just like the euro, It has made an impulsive move to the downside and the correction. This is what we saw yesterday. We had the corrective structure after the impulsive moves, and now we're dropping. Again, we've got a 5-wave structure here. Here's another 5-wave structure. If you look at this, this looks like a 5-wave structure. 1, 2, 3, 4. We're looking for this to push a little bit higher if there's going to be any reversal at those levels. That is Audi US dollar, New Zealand. Same structure on the New Zealand, but looking for this one to continue a little bit lower as well. It's 5 waves down, 3-wave pullback, and we're looking for this one to continue a little bit lower. Are we going to reverse around those levels? But we're still seeing for some pushes to the downside. US dollar ZAR with the US dollar strength is doing exactly what we expected it to do. It has now reached this level that we forecasted a couple of weeks back. That is going to, we actually forecasted 1454 as a reversal. We're looking for it to reverse here. We are simply looking for it to make this structure, which it has 1, 2, 3. That is what we're looking at, and this is the next target. With that, and with the US dollar ZAR, we may be going back to the all-time highs, although we may not go there in one move. So we've got that. If we start breaking out of this structure with US dollar ZAR, we could be going back to around the 50% of this move. So let's see how far we go on US dollar ZAR. Right, so when we showed that move, I also showed how clear the pound ZAR move was. This is why it was very convincing that the South African rand will actually reverse to the upside. So we've got this as a 3-wave structure that was done, and now we're starting with this move to the upside. The question is whether this is simply a 3-wave structure and we're going to continue to the downside, but we are looking for this to continue to the upside. Right, so that is the South African rand against US dollar and against the pound. Let's go now through, I think we covered with the US dollar pairs. Let's go through the pound pairs. So pound pairs are still looking upside. So, not the pound pairs, the yen pairs rather. Let's have a look at pound yen. Pound yen, 4 hour, we're still pushing up higher. We're still pushing up higher, so we may get this one as a continuation pattern to the upside. Naturally, if you look at this structure, you would expect this to give you one more down and get a flat here and then upside as follows. But if you look at this structure, it looks like we're going to get continuation from these levels, and we're not going to get any reversal from there. So let's see how that's going to play out, looking for continuation to the upside. And that's the case for all the yen pairs actually, except for CHF yen, where there's CHF you see is showing weakness. US dollar yen, we're looking for this one to keep pushing up higher. I showed you last week how we forecasted the US dollar yen move from here. We're expecting this one to push from here to pull back and then upside. We're looking for an impulsive move to the upside. That's why we've got that playing out on the US dollar yen. Euro yen, also another very interesting one, very nice structure. I like Euro yen. Now, Euro yen, the question is whether this from current levels is going to push and test this level, comes back for one and then upside. Then that will be a nice flat correction. Either that or we can just continue from there and we make a 3-wave structure to the upside. The idea is to only buy when this corrective structure is done, whether it's going to be this one or whether the corrective structure is going to be this one. Either way, when it is done, you are looking for a move to the upside. Same thing. Only thing that you want is to have the right timing to assess that this is the end of the move. That's where the indicator comes in handy as well. So if this is the end of the move, we're looking for upside, we're looking for upside. Both structures similar, not much difference there. It's just the path in which they take. But internally, the bigger structure is the same. CHF yen. So now CHF yen, if you look at CHF yen, if we could have looked at this as an expanding flat, but it has broken the rules of an expanding flat. This one here. Could it still be an expanding flat and this starts coming down here with a diagonal and then we look for upside? There's that possibility. So the CHF has been showing weakness over the last couple of days. So we could be getting this one coming down here like that. 3 waves down, 3 waves up, and 3 waves down, and then we look for upside. Okay, so let's see how this is going to play out on CHF. CAD yen, upside. continuation to the upside. You just have to see the daily to see why we're expecting CAD to keep pushing up higher. And the weekly. So CAD, we've just broken out of this bigger corrective structure, and we're not looking at trend lines, we're looking at corrective structures here. So you've got this three-wave structure to the upside, 1, 2, 3, and we're looking at this one as another one here. We've got that move, and now we've just broken out of the structure. So we've got this one coming up like that. Can we get a deeper one, similar to what we had here, and then continue to the upside? That's a possibility. So wait for a pullback here before you get involved. We've just broken out. Get a decent entry here on CAD yen. New Zealand. Let's go for hour. New Zealand yen is not showing us upside here. We're looking at this as a corrective structure. Can we see a move to the downside? So this may build a similar structure to what we have on New Zealand US dollar. So a bit of a push to the downside here on New Zealand yen. AUD yen. AUD yen is pretty interesting. We are still looking at this as a corrective structure. As a move to the upside, but this can actually come down here like this and come retest this low, bounce back up, make a move like this. Essentially what we're looking at is a three-wave corrective structure like this. 3 waves and then upside. That's what we'll be looking at there. All right. That is AUD yen. Let's look at the commodities. Gold. Gold is still continuing to the downside. We still have this as a pullback. We're still seeing this gold to continue lower. Let's go to the daily and see the bigger structure. That's our bigger structure on gold. It is still continuing lower. We're still looking at this. We're still looking for it to push around the 1650s area. Similar structure to the euro. If gold starts reversing, euro is going to start reversing as well. So we're still looking for this to push lower. So gold is not done as yet. Silver, however, is very clear in terms of direction. So silver, we're looking at this structure. We had this 3 waves to the downside. We had these 3 waves to the upside, and now even when we were here, we were looking at that to break to the downside. We've been discussing this over the last couple of days, that this structure needs to come down to this level. So now that structure will be a WXY corrective structure on silver. So we'll be expecting silver to come and retest the 22 levels around this area. So we're looking for silver to get to this level. So any continuation pattern on silver, take it to the downside. Platinum will continue lower as well. Just wait for a decent pullback. We're looking for downside there. All right, those are the commodities. Let's look at Brent crude as well. Brent crude keeps pushing up higher. Last week we were seeing this expanding flat showing continuation to the upside. So every time you get continuation patterns to the upside on Brent crude, it is still an opportunity to take it up higher. Our target on Brent crude when we were still at this lows here was to get to 60, which we have already done. So any pullback, however, is still an opportunity. Last week we saw this one running flat. We're looking upside. Look for a pullback before any entries, any new trades. Right, that's Brent crude. Pound chief. Pound chief looking very strong. Looks like we're going for a wave 3. I'll show you what I'm talking about there. Is this going to give us a pullback? Whether this makes a running or an expanding flat before we push to the upside, likely that we can get a running flat with a pullback here as follows and then upside, because this looks very strong to the upside. All right, so let's have a look here on the daily. What do I mean by the wave 3 here on pound chief? So pound chief looks to have made a 1. The whole thing here is a wave 2, and we're now looking for this to be going for that wave 3. So this is a wave 3 here. Could this be a wave 4? Of this move 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, looking for upside. Okay, so this will be a wave 1, a wave 2, and we're starting with this move here. We're starting with that move. So for now, we're still looking for a push to the upside, continuation to the upside. Looking very interesting. Pound chief. So if you want to see why we're expecting this to continue to the upside, is this. We're looking for it to get to this level. 3 waves up, 3 waves down, and we're looking for this one. Pound CAD. Pound CAD, you just have to look at it on the daily. We have got this very interesting structure here. Let's show it here. So the yellow color. So pound CAD, this is the structure here. 3 waves down here, 3 waves up actually. And now we're looking for pound CAD to do this. I won't show the rest of the structure, but the internal structure is this one. So if we get an entry for pound, we'll be looking for this to come around these levels. Okay. Pound Audi, last week, we wanted to see pound Audi push up higher. This is a weekly chart, so let's go to the lower degree here. We wanted to see pound Audi push up higher from here. Okay, as you can see why we're expecting that from the weekly, that's because this move looked to have ended, and now we're looking for this one to give us a corrective structure to the upside. That move is still intact, but we had a very sharp pullback. Structurally, the sequence is still in place, and that move is still playing out. So we had broken out of this structure, which we were looking at this as a WXY corrective structure. We started with a move to the upside, and we're looking at this one. This one looks like it's going to continue to the upside. So we've got this structure here. So we could be looking at 1, 2, 3, and this one as another 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3 as follows, and then this will be a nice big corrective structure, and we're going to start looking then for downside to resume. Will be a very interesting one. That's pound Audi. Pound New Zealand. Pound New Zealand, I'm looking at this structure as a 3, It looks like it's going to make another 3. Where are those 3s coming from? It's 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So that's why you're seeing here, this is still going to continue to the upside, and this is making a 3-wave structure in as follows: W, X, and Y. Still expecting this to continue to the upside. Does not look to be finished. Let's see what we get there. Pound New Zealand still upside. Euro pound. We're still expecting Euro pound to come and retest the lows here. It's just broken lower. We're going to see Euro pound come to these levels. Expecting a bounce at those levels and continuation to the downside. Let's go to the euros. Euros a bit tricky. Structurally, we're seeing this impulse move to the upside, pull back, 3 waves, and we expect this to do that. Okay, but this does not look like it's going to break now. Looks like we're going to have this as a 1, 2, and 3, retest the top there, possibly come back for 1 here like this. But eventually what we want is to see this corrective structure drop to the downside when it is done. A, B, and a C. Right, that is 4 hour on Euro Audi, Euro New Zealand. Euro New Zealand, also natural thing to expect here is for this to make a move to the downside. But if we're looking at this, this can make 1 more down and then upside. Or if it doesn't make 1 more down, if you get a setup here, you can take that setup, trade setup, and look at it as a running flat and a continuation to the upside. That will depend on whether the indicator sets gives us a setup for upside and confirms. That's Euro New Zealand, EURCAD. EURCAD, just have to refer you back to what the expectation was on this one. I was expecting this one to come to this level, and that is where we are. currently. Let's see what EUROCAD does at that level. I'm expecting a reversal, a pullback from this level, because that is a structural level. I've showed this one a couple of times. EUROCHF, are we going to start getting a pullback after these three waves? Let's see what we get from here. We can get something like that, and then we'll start getting a pullback. Those are the euros. Let's go to the crosses. Go to the crosses. Audi New Zealand. There's a trade set up here for this to come from this level to this level. If you go to the 4 hour, there's a nice trade setup. You can only take this when this is confirmed that is going to rally into this area. That is Audi New Zealand, AUDCAD, just like Audi US dollar, because of the weakness in the Audi over the last couple of days. Last week we were here with this corrective structure, 1, 2, 3. Still looking like another move to the downside. You can see this is an impulsive wave. This is an impulsive wave, but this one is missing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's why we're expecting AUDCAD to continue lower. So somebody can come and sell here, and if you can come sell there. It completes the structure and then it starts taking you out. So you need to be careful of that. This is a 5-wave structure. This can result in a move to the upside. That is AUDCAD. And if you look at AUDCAD, bigger structure, it could have completed. We may have completed the bigger structure on AUDCAD and starting to get a clear reversal. Let's see what we get. It's looking very interesting, very nice impulse. Reversal is confirmed as well. AUDCHF could have done the same thing as AUDCHF, but the AUDCAD, the AUDCHF is driven mostly by the CHF, which has been showing weakness over the last couple of days. Let's go to the 4 hour and see what we're getting there at the top. So AUDCHF looks like we're going to have a corrective structure here, and then we're going to retest the top, come back down, and then upside. New Zealand CAD also dropping because of the oil strength, but it has also reached the end of its move. These moves we showed a couple of weeks back when they were playing out, that we're looking at these 3-wave structures, which look to have now played out and now looking for a reversal. So what we're going to look for here is a bit of a pullback and then continuation to the downside. New Zealand CHF also not dropping because of the weakness in the CHF, but we're going to see this develop here and then upside. All right. CADJPY, now look to buy CADJPY, still has a long way. Look to buy CADJPY whenever you get pullbacks, similar to this, similar to that. Look to buy CADJPY for a couple of 100 pips. If you look at the, this is a daily actually. I'm going to show you the weekly structure on CADJPY. Look at the weekly and see where this is going. So CADJPY on the weekly, we could be going to retest this level. And you can see how far that still is. It can make a running flat because we've broken lower here and come down. So we just have to keep watching this. Every time you get entry setups here, keep taking them until we get to this level. All right, so let's go to the indices, the S&P 500. Right, now if you look at the indices on the weekly, we can see that there's still continuation to the upside. We're still looking for this to continue to the upside, and I've been showing that in the lower time frames as well. Let's go to the lower time frame, daily. So what we've been saying with the indices from right at the bottom here, from right here, we've just been saying any opportunity to buy that you get, you keep buying it, keep buying it. Even this one, it has now been overextended, but it looks like it's about to break to the upside and look for further upside. Why are we looking at the indices like that? Why have we been saying just keep buying the whole time? Let's go and refer back to the website and just look at one of the charts here on the indices. We are still looking for continuation to the upside. All right, let's go indices. Let's go S&P 500. Okay, so this is the latest chart, and this is what we expect. We're expecting to have an extended wave 5 here. We're expecting to have an extended wave 5 as follows. We're going to have this one as a diagonal. This could even be the wave 2, all of this, and then looking for upside. But essentially, what we're looking for is confirmation that this is going to push further up higher. And that is the case for all the other indices, similar structure. So what we'll be looking at here on the S&P 500 is this. You're going to be looking at 1, 2, 3, and then upside. Especially breaking above here will confirm further upside. Dow Jones will be similar to the S&P 500. You can see it's about to break to the upside as well. Let's go for hour. This one is actually a very nice setup. We're gonna see upside here on the Dow. Okay, so look for this one to push higher. Same structure as the S&P 500. You're looking for upside. You can see even the transportation. There's a setup. There's a setup for upside. NASDAQ has made a three-wave structure, and we are still expecting that three-wave correction to play out. 1, 2, 3. We're looking for this continuation to the upside. Not done yet. UK 100. So the UK 100, we're still in that corrective structure. Downside here, 3 waves here. Looks like we're going to have another 3 waves. So we are looking for a structure like this. Just clear all of this. This is a move to the downside. It looks like we're going to have 1, 2, 3 as well. Now this looks like a corrective structure to continue, or for this move to continue to the upside. So this move can even get back to those levels. So the structure to look at here, or the setups to look at here on the UK 100 is to see this one go up here and then upside for downside. All right, so that is a UK 100, the DAX. DAX, we're looking at this to push up higher. We've already broken out of this structure and made a nice pullback. So we're looking for this. Let's look at the Nikkei. So the Nikkei is also one of those that we bought from here. Focused those moves from here, expecting it to push up higher for an extended wave 5, which has already happened. But it looks like it's not done yet because this is a 3-wave pullback, and this looks like it's going to continue to the upside. That is the Nikkei. And lastly, on the indices is the Nifty. Nifty is showing us continuation to the upside. After the break out of this, we're going to see new highs on the Nifty as follows. All right, so that's all I have for you this week, guys. Trade responsibly. Please subscribe if you haven't already done so, and hit that notification, that bell notification, so that you can get an alert next time we upload the video. All right. Also, drop us a like if you like the content. Have a great week. I will see you again on Sunday. Cheers, everybody. Bye-bye.